It'll be the Celtics off the tip. And now the opening lineup for Boston. Bradley and Turner filling out the perimeter. Zeller is out there with David Lee, and it's Smart in at the 5.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
The Celtics really seemed to get better as last season wore on, too. GA finished the year looking very dangerous.
Kevin, with the Celtics, they were dynamite after the All-Star break. Had the second-best record in the Eastern Conference post-All-Star.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
Off the inbound, and the layup is up and in.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Now here's Parker, outside Aldridge. Misses the 3. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, earlier I spoke with Brad Stevens. I asked him what they needed to key in on defensively, and he said, well, we've got to limit penetration by Tony Parker. He's really the, quote, head of the snake, and with his floater, he doesn't need to get all the way to the rim to score. It's crucial that we do our best to keep him outside the lane. Guys, that's no easy assignment. We'll see how much success they have defensively.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. And here's Smart, following the 3 moments ago from LaMarcus Aldridge. Picked by Zeller. The dish now to Bradley. A 3 ball. Rebound, Kawhi Leonard.
And so last season for Tony Parker, somewhat of a shift. I mean, he was solid, but injuries cost him a few games. He also had his lowest assists and points per game totals since his rookie year, but he fought through like the champion that he is.
At the line for 2.
Last year, a big challenge for Tony Parker. He was in his 14th season, obviously. Every great player needs to transform his game as he gets on in age, Clark. We've seen it with the great ones. Parker did put up the highest three-point percentage of his career last year.
And he also ran the offense with tremendous poise and professionalism and cut down the turnover average as well, the lowest of his career.
Boston shooting their first free throw this game.
There are certain things, guys, that you can always count on in life. Death, taxes, and of course the Spurs winning 50 games in the regular season. Happened for the 16th straight season last year.
Smart kicks to Turner. Some solid defense from Aldridge. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Aldridge a screen. And the wide open shot from Green. A picture-perfect screen play, and the jumper's good. Well, keeping in mind the Spurs have won 50 games or more for many years in a row, Greg, there are teams out there who can drive cars who have not even seen the Spurs not win 50 games, at least in a year.
And the way the Spurs keep on building this team, it's not as if that streak's going to end anytime soon. Those kids might have a chance to vote and do much more before they fail to see the Spurs win 50 games.
Now here's Parker, following the miss by Avery Bradley. Off the screen, can't get it to go.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly, that's the right look. The decision was good, he just didn't execute.
A nice shot by Zeller.
I love how he used his height advantage on that shot.
And he had the nice soft touch with it too.
Parker passes to Aldridge. Back to Parker. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. Parker's got his first points in this one. We'll see if they want to trade 2 for 1 here.
Got to time up that clock to do so.
And Zeller kicks to Smart. On the wing, Turner. Zeller, a screen on Leonard. Down to 5 on the shot clock. That evens the score. And that's now 7 points for Marcus Smart. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Parker outside to the paint. Here's Aldridge, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
And can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Bradley drives in. It's rebounded by Aldridge.
How about him there just bodying him up to make him alter the trajectory on that shot?
Definitely some very sound defense played on that trip.
And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a... And LaMarcus Aldridge, the franchise player on this team, without question. He talked about the responsibility that comes with that role.
In every aspect, you know, it's a change for us, being more vocal, doing it on the court, trying to lead in practice. I think overall everything I do has to be better because guys are trying to follow me.
Greg, does that acceptance come with putting a whole lot more pressure on yourself? And if so, what does that do to LaMarcus Aldridge's game?
And, you know, Kevin, that's what's going to be so interesting to find out. Now, some players, you know, they really relish in that situation. They rise to that occasion. And others, I don't want to say they wilt under the pressure, but they're just not comfortable in that environment. And in the NBA, you get to do it on TV and in front of thousands in person.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
They've won the effort battle, and that's allowed them to control the backcourt.
And it's been gang rebounded. I mean, everybody has done a great job boxing out for him, and it's showing up on the stat sheet.
Manu and Kawhi filling out the perimeter. Boris Diaw is out there with West, and it's Mills in at the point guard position. That's the San Antonio 5. That's good. Boston took a lot of steps forward last season with their coach, Brad Stevens. Still, though, their defense was near the middle of the road. That will need some tweaking.
Yeah, and you could say that that seemed to be the limiting factor, Kevin, in how far they eventually went. Strange, given how several years ago they were an offensive juggernaut.
Diaw dishes to West. From the left block, the shot is off, and it's Boston the other way. Thomas kicks to Sullinger. Crowder, the pass to Olynyk. West with the block. Ginobili with the ball. He's against Jerebko. And the whistle blows, and it's going to be an over-the-back call here.
Yeah, he looked clumsy on that one. He was not going to get away with that.
Yeah, he climbed all over him. I mean, there's a picture of that one in the officiating manual. So, clear, easy call.
Amir Johnson's checked in for Olynyk. Johnson the screen. Thomas kicks to Johnson. David West grabs the miss. San Antonio leading by 6. Well, David West's usage and overall numbers have ticked away with time. He's still as efficient as ever.
Yeah, not the over 50% field goal guy he used to be, but still a valuable contributor on the block.
With the fadeaway. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
And sometimes you just can't get around your defender there. You got to hit him with that high top fade.
1:31 left to play here in the second quarter. And Thomas, here we go. Sweet little floater. Thomas got his first basket.
And for West, a lot of what he brings to the table is just professionalism, leadership, and a real example of how to get the most out of what you've got. He keeps everybody on the team focused, too. When he speaks, guys listen.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Duncan, he's checked in for West. Aldridge comes in for Boris Diaw. Green, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And Parker's subbed in for Patty Mills. And then for Boston, David Lee checked in for Jared Sullinger. Turner comes in for Jerebko. And it's Avery Bradley in for Jake Crowder.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
Johnson with a screen on Parker. Down low, it's tipped. Parker with the steal. And a fast break now for the Spurs. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. And now a 10-point Spurs lead.
Agility leads to thievery there as he got his hand in there to get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
And Clark, that's been the story of this game so far. I mean, they cannot hand over any more easy points in the open floor.
Just 5 on the clock. Releases. The shot by Turner, no good. Got a piece of it. Turner with the steal. Unloads from 13. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Turner's got his second bucket. 6 seconds left now here in the second. Green inside the three-point line, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime.
Well, Papa, solid.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. The biggest lead of the quarter was only 3 points as they traded baskets back and forth. They had some very nice stretches of play in the second quarter at both ends of the floor and got out to a well-deserved 8-point lead by halftime. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
Well, in terms of running a smooth, efficient offense, they've been as good as it gets. The looks they've created have been high percentage. The ball is moving, guys are rotating. That's what got them those good looks, Ernie. And this is the reason they got that nice lead.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about Boston?
Well, they're facing a very hot team in the first half. I mean, guys are shooting the ball lights out. But you have to do more to get stops. I mean, tough defense is the key. And if you put pressure on the ball and more bodying up down low, that's going to...
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. Nice game, great performance by LaMarcus Aldridge.
You just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Guys, I think here in the second half, though, they may want him to be a little more assertive. Start hunting more for his shot, even the tough one.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the floor for Boston. Bradley and Turner filling out the perimeter. Tyler Zeller out there with David Lee, and it's Smart in at the point. Green with the ball, and Zeller picks him up defensively. Green kicks to Parker, stolen by Smart. To the middle, and it's Turner off the drive. Leonard with the steal, and they're running. And Parker gets it to go, the assist by Aldridge. Parker's got the lead up to 10 now for the Spurs. The Celtics shooting 41% for the game. Kawhi Leonard with another great season last year, earned his first Defensive Player of the Year award with his outstanding play.
And for Leonard, he became the first perimeter player to win one since 2004. That just shows you how incredible his defense was at times.
And, you know, for Leonard, you can add that Defensive Player of the Year award to his hardware list, and that puts him in elite company, one of only 3 players to win Defensive Player of the Year and Finals MVP. The other 2, Jordan and Olajuwon.
And for Leonard, winning the Defensive Player of the Year didn't change him at all. I mean, he received a car for winning that award and gave it to charity. Went out of his way to thank his teammates during his acceptance speech. I mean, I think it speaks of his character and really the impact that Popovich has had on him and that entire Spurs team.
Duncan with the screen on Turner. Leonard dishes to Duncan. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. And the Spurs lead by 11.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They really are, and their last 3 buckets have come by way of an assist.
So the Celtics call timeout, their first.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard hasn't been in the league for a long time, but he's feeling right at home. Said last season he wants to remain a Spur for life.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Hey guys, well, Brad Stevens had some advice for the team over that last break. Offensively, he wants them to work the ball around. He stressed the need to find good shots, not quick shots. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris. And for Leonard to hear players say that a lot, but rarely before they reach the end of their rookie contract.
Yeah, I think Leonard just realizes what a special situation he found himself in. I mean, he is the complete package as a player and custom made for how the Spurs like to play and do things.
Just 3 to shoot. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though, although had they won the last game instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
Olynyk, he's checked in for Boston. Olynyk sets a screen for Smart. Sullinger the screen, and Boris Diaw picks up the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Isaiah Thomas, he's checked in for Urebko. .146 left to play in the third. Shot clock at 5. Here's Smart. Got it. Good job in the low post. Smart's got 9 points.
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not why they lost.
San Antonio making a switch here. Ginobili's checked in. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. West with the ball. He's against Olynyk. West down low. Olynyk is covering. West can't hit.
And that Spurs series sure didn't feel like a first-round matchup. I mean, you could have easily have seen either team playing for the title, regardless of who won the series. Both teams acknowledged that it felt like a conference finals matchup.
The Celtics shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight, and the technical free throw is good. And for Sullinger last season, further indication, Clark, that he needs to keep working on his conditioning.
And that was a concern coming into the league with Jared, is just how committed would he be to working on his body all the time and maintaining the level of conditioning that he needs. And injuries have been a part of that not being the case, but when he's out there, he's capable.
And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. And the Celtics making a change here. Johnson's checked in.
Amir Johnson.
50 seconds left here in the third quarter. Parker once again off the mark by San Antonio.
And talking about Sullinger, you wonder if he's been in the right scheme for the past couple years. He's not a three-point shooter. He's a back-to-the-basket banger. You want proof? Only hit 28% from behind the arc last season, and that was his career high.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Ginobili with the ball. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Shot clock at 6. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. From deep, Thomas. The shot misses. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Spurs lead by 7. And the final period of play just about to start. Celtics trail by 7. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Duncan in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the San Antonio 5. Lee is screen on Green. Bradley kicks to Lee. Wide open look. The rebound by the Spurs.
There's no getting around the simple fact that that's a shot he has to knock down.
Got that bucket in no time at all. Green's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Spurs. The Celtics shooting 41% for the game. Thomas against Parker. Thomas goes in, drops it in from 11 feet.
Wow, risky shot there size-wise, but the incredible skill that he possesses allows that one to go.
Well, the quick high release negated any height disadvantage he had right there.
Outside Leonard, Aldridge a screen. And here's Green outside. Green missing again.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
Timeout Spurs.
San Antonio calls timeout. And during this timeout, I'm sure they'll be hydrating themselves with Gatorade. All the effort out there on the floor, and these timeouts can be such a huge factor in getting a short rest and recharging the battery. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. It was clear what message he was trying to get across. He said, this lead isn't big enough that we're safe. Not by a long shot. I don't want us sitting back and milking the clock. Play to win. Show some aggression. Guys,
Zeller, a screen on Green. Bradley drives in. Zeller trying to free himself up. Great D that time from Green.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And, guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
That one misses.
Getting to the stripe is something they've been doing a lot of in the second half, guys.
And when you're behind, it's a good strategy. Not only do you get points, but you also get to set your defense.
And a fast break now for the Celtics. Smart leading the charge. Goes back up. And Zeller with the lay-in.
Just a grinder. Always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass. And that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Screen by Duncan. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Baseline jumper. Rebounded by the Celtics. Zeller's got 4 rebounds now tonight. And the call will be against Tony Parker. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for San Antonio.
Manu Ginobili. Celtics call timeout.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're behind by 5. 1:30 left to play in the final quarter. Bradley passes to Lee, and the rejection by Leonard. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Spurs.
Their defense has been outstanding, closing out on shots and blocking a few as well.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're trailing by 8. We've got 1:23 left in the fourth. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. And it's Bradley off the drive. There's the double team with Ginobili. It's Bradley on the wing. Good, and Smart gets the assist.
Confident and composed on the three-point shot at a critical juncture. Clutch.
Parker outside. Screen by Duncan. Parker dishes to Ginobili. He feeds it to Aldridge. Outside Leonard. Fires at the elbow. Can't hit. Now the Celtics take it the other way. Smart kicks to Bradley. A second chance effort. It's good. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3. The game has come down to this.
Ginormous possession here.
What intensity. Parker outside. Aldridge against Lee. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Lets it go from 11. Bounces high off the rim and drops. And the Spurs lead by 5.
Just no let up, guys. They just keep coming at you.
Well, this lead is too big to overcome. I'm going out on the limb right now. There's just not enough time left on the clock to make up the ground they have to make up.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They trail by 5. There's 18 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
You know what? And they're going to draw up something where they can get a quick shot and then maybe a foul.
That's got to be the game plan here. I mean, free throws are really their only hope. Points with the clock stopped.
Here's Bradley. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge. And so they choose to intentionally foul. He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6.
Taking 2 shots.
So it gets them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Those foul shots put them that much more in the driver's seat.
Thomas against Parker. 3-pointer. Tim Duncan with the rebound. And so it's San Antonio with the win. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds, Clark.
You know what? They showed their character in crunch time, though, doing what had to be done to send these fans home happy.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Tim, even though we're still early on in the year for the San Antonio Spurs team, with the expectations of another strong postseason run ahead of you, is this season's campaign and getting a top seed going into the playoffs as important as it's ever been?
Oh, it's huge for us. It's huge for us. We want it badly, and we're going to continue to play as hard as we can and take every game as seriously as we can, and hopefully we can end up with it.
Tim, we appreciate your time, guys. Always a pro's pro.
Doris, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. See you later.
The 2K Sports Postgame Show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, LaMarcus Aldridge. He made all the key plays every step of the way. They depend on him to deliver these sorts of performances, and he helped carry his team tonight.
When LaMarcus Aldridge gets rolling, it's always going to be a tough night for the opposing team. He is about as complete as you can get on the low block. And there are very few power forwards in the NBA that can run the floor as well as he does. He's a franchise player, plain and simple, and they just couldn't come up with an answer for him tonight.
I don't know if there's a fan base that loves their star more than this crowd. Wow, I'm getting jealous, and he feeds off that support. Once they got behind him, he became unstoppable, man.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.